Somewhere in the Bay of Bengal, there is an island. It has white beaches, dense jungle, crystal clear water. From the air, it looks like paradise. But no one is allowed to land there. Not tourists, not scientists, not journalists, not even the Indian government. The last people who tried didn't make it back. North Sentinel Island, approximately 72 square kilometers. It sits roughly 1,200 kilometers from mainland India. From a distance, it looks untouched, because it is. The people who live here have never used metal, never built boats that cross open ocean, never made contact with the outside world. They are, by every definition of the word, the most isolated humans on the planet. We don't know what language they speak. We don't know how many of them there are. We don't even know what they call themselves. What we do know is that they will kill you if you try to find out. The first recorded contact attempt was in 1880. British officer Maurice Vidal Portman arrived with a military expedition. His goal? To make friendly contact and bring the islanders into the British colonial fold. He found villages abandoned. The Sentinelese had retreated into the jungle. Portman captured 6 of them, an elderly couple and 4 children. The adults died almost immediately. No one recorded why. Portman returned the children to the island with gifts. Historians now believe this first contact may have carried disease and rage. In 1974, a National Geographic film crew arrived by boat. A documentary. Friendly intentions. They brought a coconut offering. Before they could step ashore, a volley of arrows flew toward the crew. The director was hit in the thigh. They left and never returned. For the next 20 years, anthropologists tried different approaches. Boats at a distance, gifts left on the shore. Sometimes the Sentinelese accepted the gifts. Sometimes they buried them in the sand. No one ever knew what that meant. In 1956, India made it official. Approaching within 5 nautical miles of North Sentinel Island is a criminal offence. Not a fine. A criminal offence. The Indian Coast Guard actively patrols the waters. They don't do this to protect outsiders from the islanders. They do it to protect the islanders from us. The logic is simple. The Sentinelese have no immunity to diseases the modern world carries as background noise. The flu, the common cold, measles. A single contact event could kill every last one of them within months. We don't know how many Sentinelese there are. Estimates range from 40 to 500. That margin of uncertainty tells you everything about how little we know. In November 2018, a 26-year-old American named John Allen Chau hired a fishing boat. He was an explorer, a missionary, a Christian who believed God had called him to bring faith to the Sentinelese. He had planned this for years. In his journal, he wrote his final entry before approaching the island for the last time. He described being hit by an arrow the day before. He wrote that the arrow had struck his Bible. On November 17, 2018, John Allen Chau paddled his kayak toward North Sentinel Island. The fisherman who had brought him watched from a distance. They saw the Sentinelese drag his body along the beach. John Allen Chau was 26 years old. India launched no rescue operation, no recovery mission. His body was never retrieved. Indian authorities arrested the fisherman who had helped him cross the exclusion zone. And then, once again, the world moved on. Here is what we know. The Sentinelese have survived on that island for at least 60,000 years, possibly longer. They survived the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, a wave that killed 230,000 people. Days later, they were photographed shooting arrows at a helicopter that came to check for survivors. They didn't need our help. They never did. But here's what no one can answer. 60,000 years of isolation. Every civilization on Earth has made contact with others, has traded, has adapted, has changed. These people chose something different, or maybe they were forced to. Because what happened in 1880, when Portman's men took their people and brought back only children, what if the Sentinelese remembered? What if every arrow they have ever fired is not aggression? What if it's memory?